Hey everybody, so today I thought I would do a get ready with me tutorial where I just sort of don't really know where I'm going with it. I just sort of pulled things that I have sitting around that are shut up my stash things that I want to use and created this look. So if you want to see how I did this, keep watching. Okay, so here I am just priming my eyes with my NARS-pro primer. This is just an everyday part of my routine. So I split it up because it's nothing really flashy. Then I'm taking Painterly Paint Pot with a Real Techniques Expert Concealer Brush and using Painterly all over from the lid up to the brow bone. This is, again, regular routine thing, so just sort of fast forwarded through it since it's nothing really flashy. Now here I am taking Selfish from the Nude Tude palette. It's just sort of a light taupey color. Comes off a lot lighter than I would have thought. So I'm just sort of packing it on lids and going back over the first one that I did because I want more color. Same thing, just going back in, adding more color because it's very light. It's not what I would normally expect from a taupe of that type. Now here I am taking Seductive, which is sort of a chocolatey brown, and I'm just doing that on the outer part of the lid, like about a fourth of the lid, not even half, just about a fourth in that outer area, a little bit up into the crease. And I'm just taking a generic drugstore brush and adding that in, blending it in, going back and forth, making sure I get it to the level I'm happy with. I am taking Sultry, which is just sort of, it's pretty much like Urban Decay's Buck, just not as nice. And I'm just working that in the crease with a small crease brush, generic drugstore brush. Pretty much all the brushes I'm going to use are going to be generic for the eyes. If I use a high-end one, I'll give you the name of it or whatever it is, or if it's more specific. I mean, these were just like Target brand. Now I'm going in with Sexy, which is a plum color, and I'm just going to put that in the outer corner and the outer part of the lid, just to deepen it up and give it a little bit more dimension. I mean, nothing really flashy or anything, just want to have a little more shape, a little more dimension to the look. I mean, I really didn't have a game plan with this look or where I was headed even at this point. I was just sort of playing with colors that I like and trying to come up with something that I am happy with. I'm taking a MAC 252 and s-Yogart for my highlight. It's pretty much a go-to highlight for me. Now I'm taking Urban Decay 24/7 Rockstar liner. I'm just doing a very, very thin, right on the lash line. This is my favorite. This is what I use almost every day. Instead of using black, I use this. It's just a very deep purple, and it really makes the outer green in my eyes pop. Here I am taking my mascara and just pulling that up through, really building on those lashes, giving me a little something there. Really just kind of going up and down, back and forth, just really coating those lashes, making them stand out. Now here I am taking a Q-tip and just cleaning up any fallout from under my eye. I do this every day, or almost every day. Even when I just have little specks, I'll still run a Q-tip just to do that. I'll also clean up the outer shape. Now I'm taking my Urban Decay Pore Perfecting Primer. This is the purple one. I cut the tube open, and I'm using a Q-tip to scoop product out and put it on my face. This was my favorite primer. I've tried the new complexion one in the line, and it doesn't feel the same to me. So I'm kind of on the hunt. So if you know anything that's very similar to the original, let me know. Alright, I'm just rubbing it all over my face, getting it all blended in. I'm taking a Sephora Pro Domed Concealer Brush and Benefit Erase Paste in the shade Medium, and just sort of putting a very light layer underneath my eyes. And I'm doing something I've never done before. I'm layering that with my NARS concealer in the shade Vanilla. Never really done that, never combined them, always done one or the other, but I figured I'd give layering them a try and see how it worked out. And I put a little more than I normally do because I'm carrying it a lot further down onto my cheekbones as a highlight, because at this point I'm not really sure what I'm going to go with for face makeup. Now I'm just really blending that in, making sure that it's very seamless, that I'm getting the coverage I want, that it doesn't look caked or like hunked in that area, because you don't want that. That's unflattering. Also, just always wanting that perfect blend, which I find that this brush really does well at. And I gotta say, I think that this looks good with the end result. I do like this. I just probably would use a little less concealer next time because I'm not a fan of that amount of it. The other thing with this is I don't really see a big difference with layering them and covering up the darkness. Here I am taking my NARS Radiant Foundation. This is a sample shade that I have. I have two in full size, but I've sort of been struggling to find my shade, and I think that this one is a really good match. It's Matte Blanc. It's light too. I also have Duval and Fiji. I'm just taking a Real Techniques Expert Face Brush and buffing that in. This is a foundation that works a lot better if you use a wet sponge, whether that be Real Techniques or Beauty Blender. It really does blend in a lot more seamlessly and look a lot more natural. I didn't really wet one down because I wasn't really sure what I was going to use, so I just grabbed a brush and did. I mean, it's doable. I definitely prefer the look of it with a sponge to a brush. But yeah, so just buffing that all in. Like I said, it's a sample, that's why I had put it on with a Q-tip, plus that way my fingers stay nice and clean. And yeah, just carrying that all over the place, all over the face, down the neck a little bit just to make sure that everything's all matched and even. I mean, it doesn't look bad by any means with a brush, it's just it looks much better with a sponge. One other quick thing to be aware of with this foundation is it does run yellow, even the pinker shades turn out more yellow. Here I'm taking MAC's Mineralize Skin Finish in Light, a Real Techniques blush brush, and just getting some product and mainly focusing on my T-zone, definitely picking up more product for the T-zone than anywhere else, because that's where I get the most oily, because I have combo skin. Then I am just dusting a little bit around the rest of the face, even carrying that down to make sure that everything is all set and very, very nice and flawless. Next thing we're taking there is we are taking a Real Techniques setting brush and going into the same light mineralized skin finish, and I'm going to set my under eye concealer with this to make sure that it really locks in and to prevent it from sinking into any of those lines I have. I really do like this for setting the under eye, however I do prefer other things to it a little bit more. Here I am taking my Makeup Forever HD Cream Blush in the shade 510, and I'm taking a Wet n Wild contour brush. I actually picked this up for $1 at Dollar Tree, and I am very, very impressed with this. I am very happy with how it applies creams. That little smirk there is because I forgot how beautiful this blush is, since I don't really reach for my creams too often. It's not something I very typically pull out and use, so I think I'm going to try to use them more, maybe put some in Shop My Stash. And yeah, it's a very beautiful shade. It's very natural looking, gives that skin just a little bit of glow. I'm really liking it. I'm really impressed with the brush. Definitely glad I grabbed it. Definitely going to pick up more if they still have some. But there you have the blush. Now I'm taking my Naked Skin Liquid Highlight and Sin with a e.l.f. stippling brush. I put a little bit out on my MAC palette, and I'm picking that up and then just patting that on the cheeks. This is very pretty. It's a very champagne-y color, very lighter champagne with a little bit of gold. Like I said, it is very beautiful. It gives the skin a very nice, natural-looking glow. It's not as nice as the Becca liquid highlights, but it is very nice. It's something that I bought and really liked, used it a few times, and then really never reused it. That's why it's in my Shop My Stash and why I'm using it in this video, because I just don't gravitate to it. But like I said, it is beautiful. I mean, look at that glow. It's very pretty. Wasn't enough glow for me, so I'm going in with a Real Technique fan brush and the Sin Powder Highlight from Urban Decay as well, just to amp it up and give it a little more glow. And like I said, just picking a little bit up with that fan brush and running that on the cheeks, because not looking for super screamy metallic, but also want some oomph to that highlight, because that's really more the vocal point of this, is the cheek highlight, because the eyes are very neutral, the lips are going to be very neutral. I'm just running it down my nose and Cupid's bow just so that any excess goes there. I don't normally highlight the nose, that's why there, and not happy with how much blush it's there anymore, so I'm dipping back in and adding just a little bit more, making it really stand out and, you know, just picking up that little bit more. You can also do this with just the brush after you've used it. I went in and got a little more product. There's the finished face. And here I am taking a matte lip pencil from Bite Beauty in the shade Torte. This was a holiday set from last year, I believe. And it's almost gone. This is really the bare end of it, and I just want to finish it up. So there you have that finished look. Some nice glow there on those cheeks. Very nice. Well, that is how I achieved this. As always, thank you for watching. And if you have any questions or anything, post them down below. Otherwise, I will see you guys next time. Bye.